All right, guys, so let's get into this part of this is where a lot of my questions come from, which is okay, you made the flashcard, you studied the day before, but what do you do the next day? So if you're not familiar with Anki, let me see if I can actually show you this, but take my word, I'm going to show you an example. But basically, Anki thinks that you're going to work on your flashcards every single day. And that's usually a good approach, but this is not how the technique or the flashcard method that I lay out uses it. So here you see like I have 5 cards due here. Imagine you have like 25 lectures. So you may have some due on your recent lectures, but you're also going to, if you clicked that button down there that says show it again in 4 days, then the lectures you had 4 days ago are now going to have are going to have flashcards that you're going to be expected to review. So a lot of people have questions. Let me show you an example real quick. A lot of people have questions on whether or not they need to do those review cards. And if you're using this technique that I'm laying out, the answer is no. But let's say you can see these flashcards that I have. This is for, I think, my clerkship. But let's say these were each a lecture. So you can see that the green ones are cards that I need to go back and review. So let's say this was the lecture I had yesterday. It was on radiology. Do I need to go back and do the questions on neurology on Tuesday if my lecture on Monday was radiology? Like, do I need to go back to this lecture? The answer is no. And so let me show you, and I'm going to break this down. I'm actually going to open up a Word doc and show you guys exactly how to do this. But we're going to open up our free guide tutorial again. And here's the Word doc. So you went through your lecture on kidney stones. The next morning, you do your review cards. And this is just because your review cards are going to be the cards that you struggle with the most. So these are going to be the cards that you probably spent the most of time on. So for example, I was having issues with, I think, the citrate cards. So this would probably be the cards that I was going to be seeing. And you keep going through it, just go through all the difficult cards that you had and do that the morning of before your next day's lecture. So ideally you'll probably have like 5 or 6 cards in each of your lectures. So let's say you have 3 lectures. That means you have anywhere from 15 to 18 flashcards to do. But remember, you've seen these flashcards numerous times because it's taken you some time to learn them. They are your hardest topics, but that means you need to spend more time on them. So anywhere from like 10 minutes per lecture. So in the morning, you can spend 5 to 10 minutes doing these 5 flashcards that we used to have here, and then do another 5 to 10 minutes on the next one, and the same thing. It's usually a lot pretty quick, but it's just this part of the process helps you make sure that you know the topics that you struggle with the most. So I'm going to lay out now how we go ahead and study for the rest of the week. So let's just kind of go what we were doing before. So before class, we went ahead and we reviewed the notes, or reviewed the syllabus. We went ahead and got the main ideas, and then we made our flashcards really quickly. And I want to emphasize that. We spend probably anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes making a whole learning material for a specific lecture. Then the next day, day of class, I'm just going to assume you went to lecture. You went to lecture and you took notes. And I'm going to say your lecture was 1 hour. And I'm going to say now you multiply that by 3 because you have 3 lectures. So that equals 3 hours that you spend that day. So let's say this is before class for Sunday, and this is your first day of the week, and you're going to class on your Monday. So then you come home, and you're going to we're just going to call it the flashcard method, which is go and spend no more than 10 to 20 seconds learning as much as you can on each flashcard, moving on and seeing it again, that same part. Usually you spend about 30 to 45 minutes per lecture. We're just going to assume that you spend about 45 minutes, so that's about what? A little more than 2 hours for 3 lectures. And so now you're done with that day's material, and you're basically going to go ahead and review your syllabus for the next day and make your flashcards. So review material for next day, and make your flashcards. So I'm going to just assume that reviewing the syllabus, kind of how I did, you're getting the main topic, takes you about 10 minutes and 20 minutes to make your flashcards. Usually it's about 10. So we're going to say 30 minutes per your lectures. So I'm going to say 1.5 hours to prepare. Honestly, this is probably going to take you 45 minutes to an hour because by this time you're tired. You just want to get the main idea, which is good for you because you're going to only focus on getting the big ideas and making your flashcards. I can probably do this at this point. My flashcards I can make in 10 minutes, and I can review the syllabus in about 5 minutes just to give you an idea of how fast you can get at this process once you get better. So the next day, you're going to, as we talked about, do your Anki review cards and spend 5 to 10 minutes per lecture. So we're going to just say anywhere total from 15 to 30 minutes, assuming you have 3 lectures. And then you're going to repeat this process for that specific day. So you're going to go to class, you're going to review the material that you prepared the day before, and you're going to keep going. Now, what do we do on the weekend? All right, so that's the next big question. So this is what I like to do. I'm going to assume that you take your Friday evenings off. That's what I used to do. So Saturday, we need to obviously still learn the info from Friday because we haven't done it. So Saturday, learn Friday's info and review the cards, excuse me, from Monday through Tuesday. And then Sunday, do Wednesday through Friday. So you're going to review Friday's card once again just to make sure you got the gist of it, or you can just do your review cards that you get shown the next day. So what do I mean by reviewing the cards from Monday and Tuesday? Coming back to Anki, assuming you have, let's just say you have 15 different lectures, 3 lectures for your 5 days of the week, and this was the lecture from Monday. So what you're going to do is you're going to do all the Anki cards that you have, not just the ones that it shows you for review. You're going to do all of them. And here's how you do all of them. You can go Custom Study, click in this very last tab, which is Study by Card, and click on All Cards in a Random Order. Now, if you have, for some reason, more than 100 cards in your deck, you can increase this, but obviously we don't. And then just click OK and OK. And now it's going to show me all of the 9 cards in that deck. And I'm going to quickly just go through, like, oh, all right, uric acid, I still remember. There's exogenous, endogenous ways, and I still remember the mechanism. Perfect. I'm going to click Easy and just move on and keep going. You're going to still find stuff that you probably forgot. And so it's the same process as clicking again for anything you don't understand. Anything that you do understand, clicking End. And just keep moving, like, oh, I still remember the epidemiology. Males are greater than females. Obese increases your prevalence. So I'm going to click End on that. And go through the flashcards for that specific day. They should, again, take you less time than it did the initial time because now you've seen the material probably a couple times and you focused on the harder material the next day. And on the weekend, it probably will take you anywhere from probably 30 minutes to review those flashcards and then spend a majority of that time focusing on the harder topics. So this is how you're going to review throughout the week. So hopefully that makes sense. In the next video, we're going to talk about how to study for your exam when you're about a week away. So I'm going to give you a breakdown just like this one. So click on the next video to get an idea of how to study for your exams.